All right, happy Monday, everybody. Today is day 35 of paying my bills and dividends. And man, I can't believe it's been 35 days already. Anyway, my name is Joe McKiddish, and I created this whole program really on here is really kind of a friend of mine a few months ago was like, what would you do if you had to start it over with dividend investing? And I've been dividend investing for over a decade, almost 13 years now. And the last few of it, I've been, completely living on dividends, and it's been great. And I tried different strategies, different things that worked. Some of it didn't work, and I came up with a strategy that worked well for me and got me what I'd call financially free, where all my bills are paid with dividends. And then kind of got a challenge of, what would you do different, with new ETFs and weekly payers and some of the new tools that are out there. So came up with a new strategy, and that's what this is. So if that's interesting to you, check it out. Stick around, and as always, I'm out here as often as I possibly can anyway, but unless it's pouring rain or I'm in a place where I can't smoke a cigar, which sometimes happens. I like to invest my money while smoking cigars. So today I got a Timeless. See if I can get that in the camera. Timeless Supreme. This is actually a pretty good cigar. It's a small one because I came from one meeting, came here, and then I've got another meeting, a little mastermind with some of my members. So I teach blue collar business owners how to run great businesses, and part of that is I run mastermind groups where there's a group of like 8 to 10 members where we sit down for a couple of hours and go through each person's struggle, whatever they got going on in their business, and come up with a plan to fix it. So that's what we're going to be doing here in a minute. But for now, I'm going to smoke the cigar. I'm going to go through some investing, invest all my money, and then I'm going to go get after it. So with that, I'm going to share my screen and let's get into it. All right, before we get started, I do have to say I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So really, I'm just investing my own money and how I do things. And so if you need help with your investments, I strongly recommend reading some books, doing your own investigation, doing your own research on how to do this stuff. And The Intelligent Investor is a good place to start. And go read up on investing money. That way you know what right looks like. So books I recommend: Intelligent Investor, and then Unshakable, Tony Robbins' book, and then Money Master the Game. And then there's several others, but those will get you started. All right. So with that, let's get into the strategy. All right. So this is strategy number 7. So strategy number 6 was the strategy that got me financially free, where all my bills are paid for with passive income. Strategy number 7 is my new strategy on what I would do if I had to do different with today's tools and products that are out. So my goal here is to grow my dividend income to cover all my personal expenses. And I have a thing I call the wealth snowball. So essentially, what I consider wealthy is, not only are all your bills paid for, but you can go wherever you want, do whatever you want, with whoever you want, and nobody can tell you any different because you got your money right. So this is the first foundational component of that, which is get all of your bills paid for. So that means your water, trash, heat, gas, electric, car, fuel, insurance, tax payments, car payments, food, rent, anything else you have out there. And your list is probably going to look different than mine, right? I don't have insurance as far as like health insurance, and I don't have, in here. And I don't have like phone and internet stuff because a lot of that's covered by my business. The health insurance thing is not covered by my business. I actually have a different brokerage account that I invested money into, and the dividends pay my medical bills. So I have a family, I've got kids and all that stuff, and all the medical bills, I just go work out payment plans with the providers, and I use the dividends to pay it. All right, here's the strategy. So I broke this thing into 3 phases. In these videos, I was primarily going to go after 2 phases, which is phase 1 and 2, and I'll go into phase 3 here in a minute. But phase 1, which is now completed, goal here is to build up weekly paying ETFs with a 35% total return. The shares of the weekly payers will be bought evenly per number of shares, and dollar cost averaging used is the purchasing strategy, and margin will be used once the account has reached $2,000 in value, which it did on the 1st of April. And then, of course, we completed this phase on the 7th of May. So, pretty quickly we got to the point where we're there. And so we invested $300 a week, or a day into the weekly payers, $300 a day into the weekly payers, and we reinvested all the dividends back in until $400 a month in distributions was reached. So we reached that last week. So doing pretty good on that. And then our goal here is to invest 50% of the distributions into some monthly payers, and the monthly payers will be what will actually be used to pay the bills. And we'll put 50% back into the weekly payers, and then once the weekly payers at $400 a month, which we did reach, that's why it's in green. The $300 a day will be split between the weekly and monthly payers, and we will be using margin, back up to here. We will be using margin to speed up the process. So that being said, if we're going to do the math every single day and go $150 into each group, and then whatever the dividends are, we'll split those up, and then we'll add some margin in so that we can add a couple extra shares of the weekly payers in there. So we're going to continue pushing into the weekly payers every single day. That way, that'll speed up the process of getting more and more dividends, and which means the margin will get paid down faster, which means we can buy more shares, etc. Right. So we will also be using dollar cost averaging on the monthly payers, and we'll buy them evenly on number of shares. And then the monthly payers, our goal is an average of a 10% dividend return, but we will ensure that we choose ones that are tax efficient, which we did. We will also make sure that we've got some diversity there across different areas of the market, and then we will consider growth as a final phase there. Then the monthly payers will be used to pay the personal expenses, not the weekly payers. All right, so we only have had 1 day of the monthly payers under our belt, so we got to get on day number 2 here. So that's kind of where we're at here, is to get that. So let's see if I can not drop ash on myself. All right, let's keep the cigar going. All right, we'll track how many days it took to hit each one, and now we're at day 35, so we're going to see how fast these go now that we're starting there. So the goal is to pay for everything in 1.5 years. I don't know if we're going to hit that or not, but we're going to try it out. It all depends on the market, really. So the market's crazy beast. So phase 3, which is my long-term investments. I have my old portfolio, which is what I call strategy 6. Strategy 6 has these type of investments in it. So REITs, BDCs, ETFs, closed-end funds, that kind of thing, that are long-term share price appreciation and dividend growth players. So I have over 233 different, or 230, I don't know, I said 33, but 230 different holdings in there in that strategy. So very diverse across all areas of the market. And right now, in order to speed this process up, we're going with 13 weekly pairs and 13 monthly pairs. I did mess around with those this weekend. So the weekly pairs I didn't mess around with, kept those as is. So I've got pairs on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't have any weekly pairs on Fridays, but we will get paid on Friday when the monthly pairs start paying out. But right now, it's just weekly pairs are paying Monday through Thursday. And I've got some cryptocurrency with Nicholas. It's kind of a crypto universe type of thing, and that's a cool product. You can actually click on these links and go check them out. By the way, in case you didn't know, links to every single one of these things that I have up at the top here is down below. So the strategy, this document, the dividend payout one, all of it's free in the description below. So just click on any of those and you can do whatever you want with it. And then I do have links to Robinhood, my referral code in there, and anything I get from those, like Robinhood pays me $5, Snowball pays me $5. Oh yeah, and I got some money from those this weekend. Thanks for signing up for those guys. So appreciate using my link. So I got another $10 from Robinhood, and then I got I'm gonna go look, but it's significant. I think I got $75 from Snowball. So I moved the money in already. So it was over the weekend. So we'll go take a look at it and see how much money moved into the account. So we'll go take a look at that here in a minute. So Maggie, so I've got some tech in here, Palantir, HOW. Those two have been kind of drags on this whole thing, but we'll see how it goes today. So we've got underlying is Palantir with POTW, and underlying of HOW is Robinhood, and then Roundhill's top weekly pay universe, which is top W. Kind of an interesting product there. So that's what that one is. And it's actually been performing pretty well. It used to suck, but back when it was WPay, and then they renamed it, and it's a lot better. All right, now rec shares. I've got three rec shares in here: the Tesla product, and Nvidia, and then the Walmart one. And those have been performing fairly well, actually. So we'll go take a look at those in a sec. But those are single stock ones. This is kind of more broad, definitely more broad. And then the Tap Alpha is where the broad market stuff kicks in. So I got T-SPY, the TSYX, which sits on the Lyft product on top of T-SPY, TDAX, which sits on top of TDAC, which is their own, SPY and NASDAQ 100 ETFs. So you can go take a look at the strategy. There's really interesting. Those have been working out really well. Chippy is another one from Yomax, multiple underlyings there. You can go look at those in the strategy. You can click on that and go take a look at it. Really cool what the Yomax has done there. That product's actually been really good since the semiconductor space has been ripping. Hopefully that continues for a while, and then we'll be pretty happy. All right, so we got a couple more cryptocurrency funds, Ethereum and Bitcoin, and those have actually been performing just fine. We're going to go take a look at what it's like today. And then I did make some changes here to the monthly. So I moved GPIX down to the no, or GPIQ down to the no, down to future buy. And then I put the two JP Morgan funds because of the way that they blend the return to capital. I found that more compelling on the tax strategy side of things than the way that Goldman Sachs is doing the GPI the GBIQ product. So move that one down, and then move the JP Morgan ones into it. And then I added the NEOS Bitcoin fund, and that brings us up to a total of 13. And so we'll go take a look at how those are doing here in a minute. So while the NEOS fund, the 12-month total return is minus 9%, the payout's really good. But my worry was that this is going to continue. But I think Bitcoin's going to go on a tear here soon. That's what my hope is. And so I'm going to gamble on that one a little bit. The rest of these are pretty solid and have been. And so not too much gambling going on with these other monthly pairs. But that one in particular, we might do well, we might not. I guess we're going to find out. But I'm willing to swing for the fences on that one. So that's what we're going to do. I needed 13, and now I got 13. So I got 13 weeklies, and now I got 13 monthlies. And we'll go look at how those are performing here in just a sec. So, all right. So as you can see, I added I'm now at 10,500 in total invested. And then I've got $40 from Robinhood. And then I went from 110, so I added $75 in Snowball Analytics signup. So thank you so much for using the links. As I mentioned before, I would take any money that came from either one of those, and if YouTube ever monetizes me and pays me any money, that'll go in here too, just so I could show you small amounts of money what the effect is over time. So anything that comes from anything related to this, I'm just going to put it right into this account. So that's what happened here is I put the $40 from Robinhood in, $185 so far from Snowball Analytics, and of course I've reinvested the dividends. And on today we cracked over the $300 mark. So it's like I got a whole day of investing. So if you think about, like, I'm putting $300 a day in, and today's 35. Adding that in is like I've been doing it for 36 days. And so then the other thing is I am using margin. So we're going to go take a look at the margin, how much I've used, and we'll calculate in how many days that's given me. So all right, so week 1 we went from $2.67, week 2 $13.18, week 3 $23.84. And then we had a little dip here to 2106 on week 4, a little hiccup. And I'm not sure. Hopefully that math is right. It doesn't look right at all, actually. Let's see. It is not. Somebody else didn't catch this one. I didn't catch it either. All right, so there we go. That looks better. I wonder if this one's also off. It is. I'm finding all kinds of problems here. All right, so 60. I got in here dwarfed with this thing, and I think I messed up the math on it. So E68, that's not right. E73. And then let's see if that one's actually correct. That one is. And then, and this one's all messed up. E87 to, so it should be D87 to D99. All right, that's not right either. C and C99. There we go. That's better. I don't know how these got switched up. I think I came in here and messed with the formulas too much. All right, C 86. That should be right. All right, I'll mess with the rest of these, but these are correct now. All right, so had a huge jump in here, you know, between this week and then this week, and then we had a little bit of a jump here, and I'm predicting that we're not going to see a massive jump in here this week, but it'll still be pretty good. So as you can see, the dividends are growing on us, stacking on us fast. So we're in just a matter of 8 weeks or 7 weeks, we went from $2.67 all the way to $83, and this is per week. So the week last week, $83.75. We should be really close to $100 this week. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out how it goes. All right, so let's go look at Robinhood. Oh yeah, and one last thing on here, I added all the monthly payer sections in here. So once I get the monthly payers, we're gonna update this, and it's gonna look the same as this, but then the numbers are gonna get stacked on the monthly payers rather than on the weeklies. So you know, looking pretty good. The sheet, thanks for all the feedback on this. That's all the way this sheet looks is come from feedback from you guys. So appreciate that. You know, I'm pretty happy with it so far. All right. And so far this week, as of today, we got $13.15. And all right. So let's get into the different investments here. So I'm $943.31 in margin to start this off. I've already added in. Let's go over and look. I'll show you. History. So here's the $300 from today for today, and there's the $75 that I put in that came from Snowball. So adding that up, and then of course the investment or the dividends that got paid out today, and there we go. So we're still $943 in margin, but that's a far cry from where we were. And so, you know, today with there only being $13.15 in dividends, so you can kind of figure out the math on this. So, you know, 300, you know, divided by 2 plus. See if that worked. Plus, you know, 13.15 divided by 2 is going to be $156.58. So that's what we're going to put into the monthlies right now. So we're going to start where we left off. So a couple things I did here is I created a watch list of the monthly payers. So we're just going to go down the list. So I got the QQQI, SPY already, IWMI, SRV. So we're just going to pick up at MLPI, and we're going to buy a share of that. So put in a limit buy. We'll put it at the current bid price and see if we can get it to go through. Let me turn on the volume a little bit. Not sure what that was about. Why is my function? I apparently can't use the audio controls, so let's do it this way. All right. So my little audio buttons are doing something weird. Keyboard lock is on. I don't have time to mess with it. All right, so let's get MLPI. Let's go ahead and put the order in on that. I want to hear that little chime of freedom coming from Robinhood as we get these orders through. So IAUI is having a bit of a red day, so we're going to go limit buy on that. So far we're at, you know, between these two, MLPI is at 56 bucks, and then IAUI is at $57. K Silver is at 38. So I'm just going to buy K Silver and AIPI, and then we're going to call it for today. We're just going to buy those four. I think I just bought K Silver and then AIPI. We're going to go buy one of those. And there we go. All right, so now that we've got those four in, we're going to pick up where we left off on the weekly payers last week. So as you can see, I've got 35 of each one of these. So we're going to pick up on 34, and we're going to go ahead and increase our position on these. So as you can see, PLTW currently, and the Walmart one's down. Oh, Walmart's below our cost basis, so we're going to have to go buy a share of that today. That's the first time that's happened in a while, so we're going to go ahead and jump in on that. So let's go ahead and do limit buy. So what I'm trying to do here is get these. If you haven't been following me for a while and you're just getting in on this, the reason I do limit buys is put them in at the bid price rather than the current price is oftentimes the bid price is less than the current price, and I can get them for that price. So if I can, then I save myself a few pennies and over, as you can see, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shares, and maybe even thousands of shares over time, which it's definitely going to be thousands of shares. A penny here and a penny there adds up to a lot of money. So all right, so 25.64, 25.60. We're just going to go ahead and put in these orders. And as you can see, I put in, we'll just call this 28 bucks, 25 bucks, $39. So, I think I'm just going to buy one of each one of these that I'm missing to bump these numbers up. All right, 29.26. Then we'll see where we're at. All right, limit. We'll go ahead and put in a 2045 on that one. TSII, so we'll do YBTC. And putting these limit orders in, sometimes they'll go through. There we go. Got that one for cheaper. The Walmart one, I'm going to increase my position here, do limit. And as you can see, the current price is $26.77. Our cost basis is average price $27.25. So if I can get this down for $26.75, that's significantly less than our current price. So $26.75 compared to $27.25. That's a 50-cent difference. So it'll trim into this price difference here. So let's go ahead and put that in. All right, so YBTC went through, YETH went through, so that's great. Let's see what else filled. I think just those two, YBTC. All right, perfect. Okay, so those are done, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a look at this one. So this is PLTW. It went down 2.18% today, which is means our cost base is, it's down 11%. We're going to go ahead and increase our position into that one. I like to do down days where I'm like significantly down. As you can see, 21.48. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 21.40, and then I'm going to leave this guy. So what this will do is if it ever gets down to 21.40 between now and the end of the trading day, that order will go through. If not, then it'll just cancel out at the end of the trading day. So I put it in there just when, if it goes down to that price, that's a great price for us. So now you can see how I do it in the mornings. Usually I come in my main account and I'm looking at all the stuff that I need to buy that day, and I put all the limit buys in significantly less than what the current price is. And so that helps me get my cost basis down. My total return is dramatically increased because my return on cost is much better. So, all right, so let's go in and edit these and see if we can push the rest of these through. So MLPI, we're going to go ahead and bump this up by a penny. And I think we're pretty close. So bid price is $26.30, and then the current price is $26.33. So we might be able to get it in for a penny or two cheaper. We're going to find out. These NEOS funds are often very difficult to get cheaper prices on. All right, so let's see, as you can see, 27.11 is the bid, 27.13 is the current price. If we can get it for 27.12, I'd be pretty happy with that, actually. All right, so K Silver, let's do 28.73. Yeah, so that's only a penny off. 2 pennies off on what those prices are. AIPI 26.68, 26.69 is the current price. So we're going to pay retail for that one. Maybe we'll pay retail. Oh, there it goes. All right, so stop. NBII. All right, 28.94, 28.96 is the current price. We're gonna go 1 penny less than the current price and see if it'll push through. TDAX. Again, we're just gonna go up a penny on each one of these until we hit PLTW, and we're gonna skip that order. All right, so current bid and current price are almost the same, 1 penny off on a bunch of these are doing this. So as you can see, it's a major green day today. We're up 1.3% just in price appreciation in just one day. And as you can see, the 1 month, look at this total return in this account. Let me move these controls out of the way so I can read it. Maybe. There it is. So total return in this account is almost 13% in the past month. And this is not even total return. This is just price return. Price return in the last 3 months is almost 13% increase. That's insane. So, as you can see, that's just an insane number. So, last month alone is 11%. Last week, massive difference. So we're just going to leave that alone because, it makes me nervous when things go up too fast. Because if things go up too fast, I usually see a fall off the cliff at a certain point on the other side. And I hope that's not the case, but we're going to find out. It's happened to me before, but who knows, this stuff might be ripping all year. And if so, game on. We'll be able to get a ton of dividends off of it. We're going to be able to buy a ton of shares, and that's going to be awesome. All right. So now we're at the PLTW. We pushed a couple of those orders through. So I'm going to bump all the rest of them up by a penny and see if we can get these to go through. We might end up paying retail for all these. And that'll be fine, I guess. All right, so this one we're putting in at current price. See if that'll actually go through at current price. TDAX, we're a couple pennies below current price, but we're going to go ahead and put it in 1 penny below current price and see if it'll go through. Walmart one at current price. All right, that one went through. So as you can see, once I refresh this, our cost basis is going to change. So, not much, not significantly, but buying shares when they're on the down is a good thing. So, all right, top W, we're 1 penny less than current price on that MLPI. This thing, we made. I'm just going to place this order 1 penny less, and if it doesn't go through, I'm going to just put it at retail and just call it. All right, so IAUI. Again, now we're 1 penny above current price on that, so that's got to go through. Yep, it did. All right, so K Silver 28.73, 28.74. That's current price. So not getting a discount on a lot of these monthlies. They perform really well, and that's a good thing. And it also makes it harder for me to get a discount on them. So all right, so MLPI, we're gonna just put that one in at current price. See if it pushes through. TDAX. All right. All right, got that one. K Silver, we're gonna get that one done, and which is 1 penny above current price, but still far less than what the bid price. The bid price is, 13 cents higher. So I believe is what I just saw. All right. We're gonna put top W in at current price. See if that'll go. MLPI, let's just go ahead and put it in at current price and call it. And they still won't go. All right, so 28.76. Oh man, look at that. Current price bumped way up on that. So we're going to go 20. That's why it's not going through, because it's moving up fast. All right, top W 29.30. We're bidding at 29.30, so we're going to go two pennies less than ask. So that one went through. MLPI, we're going to go up a penny to retail on that. What the price is on that one. And that one went through. And then K silver, we're going to end up going above where we want to be. But, you know, as you can see, the ask price is 28.87, which is the current price. And we're going to just pop a couple pennies on this until it goes through. So, we can get this thing done. If we can. I had this problem in my other account with K Silver too, because it moves. On days, silver is moving. It's like ripping so fast, it's hard to get the bids in. All right, so I'm going to leave PLTW alone. I'm going to just let that one bake overnight, or at least until the end of the trading day, and see if we can get that one a little bit cheaper. You know, I kind of want to buy the Walmart, another one of these Walmart ones, just because it's, you know, below our cost basis. But my general rule is if it gets 3% below my cost basis, then I will buy extra shares to buy the share cost down. So we're at 1.72% down. And so buying that one share didn't have a huge effect on it. But, you know, we'll see how it does tomorrow. And if it's not doing any better tomorrow and it's still looking a little shaky like that, then I'm going to buy more shares of it. So, all right, so we've got so far on the monthlies, AIPI, IAUI, IWMI, K-Silver, MLPI, QQQI, SPY-I, and SRV. Then, of course, we got the fractional shares. I put it into Google, hoping that would go up, and of course, it's been going down all day. So there's that. And then, as you can see, we've got AIPI here is where we left off. I'm going to go ahead and, because of where we're at money-wise, I'm going to go buy a share of FEPI, maybe. So let's go ahead and buy a share of FEPI. And we're going to put that one in at, you know, 2 cents less than what the current price is, and see if that'll go through. I kind of want to buy one of each one of these. You know, that's my nature. I just like, let's just rip it and send it. But I want to be pretty conservative with the margin for now. So usually I'm at 20% of whatever my account is at in margin. So we're far below that percentage. You know, we're like, you know, about 10% right now of where my current account value is and where the margin is. So we do have some room here to play around, but I wanted to get that FEPI one in. So let's go ahead and go to work on that one and see if we can get it to go through. So let's see if we can get it for 1 penny less than what the current price is. And we can't. All right, so we're just going to go current price on that and see if we can get it to go. And it did. All right, so we got FEPI, and we are now $1,341.24 in margin debt. But we're going to go update. Let's go look at the margin real quick. You know, a lot of people are worried about this, and I get a lot of feedback on using margin for this kind of thing. But based on the way the numbers work on, this is why I use those weekly pairs. So I want the weekly pairs to pay off the margin faster. And so, you know, I can grow the portfolio quicker using margin and those high weekly pairs. So, you know, it's worked really well for me in the past, even at the higher margin rates at Schwab, which is I was using before Robinhood at 11%. Robinhood's 5%. So I get the first $1,000 interest free, and so I'm only going to pay interest on the $341.24, and not for very long, because I'm going to put the $300 in tomorrow. So I'm not paying I'm not paying margin for long, right? So not yet. I will be eventually. All right. So my portfolio value is $1,233. or $338.43. My total maintenance requirement, which means I can't drop below or anywhere near that number. And if I do, I'll get a margin call. So I don't want to do that. And so that's a required amount that I have to have in my portfolio in order for this to keep working. And so the market can drop significantly before I get a margin call. So like if we had a 30% or 40% drop, the likelihood I get a margin call is very low, even at that. So there is a buffer of 67.43%. So I've got an $8,309 buffer, meaning that the market could drop like about $8,000 and I'm good. I'm not good, but I would be very unhappy about that. But the reality is the way I'm using margin at 5% interest is to buy things that pay a much higher return than that and speed up the process. So me investing $300 a day. And I'm using $1,341.21 in margin. That's like I added 4 additional trading days worth of investment to this, and using other people's money to do it rather than my own, which is the way wealthy people do it, right? So wealthy people buy assets. They leverage those assets to buy more assets that cash flow. So they're buying cash flowing assets. They're leveraging those cash flowing assets, and using the collateral around it to go and buy more. So they're using margin loans or different types of loans. There's different types of loans out there. This one's just the easiest to deal with because it's all on one platform around to mess with anything. So, and it's 5%. Like 5% is like great for me. For my strategy, what I'm trying to do, that's what I'm about. Okay. So, you can go look at the maintenance requirements on each one of these, and you can obviously tell which ones are highly volatile because the maintenance requirement, how much they require that you own or the balance on those shares needs to be quite high on the ones that are highly volatile. And then on the monthly ones, they're all going to be about the standard 25%, which is Robinhood's standard here, right? So all right, with that, let's go to Snowball and do a very quick sync up and see where we're at money wise now. So let's go back to last Monday and sync from there forward. All right. Just checking to make sure I was on time. I hate being late for stuff. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a quick refresh on this. And we didn't add a huge amount in dividends. So let's go to the dividend calendar and see where we're at. Last week we're at $400 and now we're at $402. And the reason for that is PLTW and HOW are not paying out super well this week. So we had a little bit of a drop there, but that's fine. It's okay for that to happen. So as you can see, in fact, it's $13.15 and $13.50 back-to-back days. I've never ever had that happen. I've never had it in all the years of investing. I've never had back-to-back days that pay exactly the same. So the odds of that have to be ridiculously low. But so today we got the $13.15 from Blocks and Maggie, and tomorrow we're going to get $13.15 from HOW and PLTW. And as you can see, there's a drop off with HOW down to, it was paying $4.04 or $7.70. Now it's $4.04. So there is a drop, which is why our estimated monthly went down, because those are weekly pairs, and so even a couple dollars adds up over the whole course of the year. So that's why we are where we are. But as you can see, tomorrow or Thursday or Wednesday, we've got a pretty significant jump, about $3 on that day. And then we have about a $4 jump on Thursday, which we're going to add more to this Thursday one tomorrow when we invest. So each one of these we're going to buy to borrow: Chippy, TDAX, TSYX, YBTC, and YETH. We're going to buy those so that we get paid on them on Thursday. So because we're not buying one of each of the weeklies every single day, we will get around. We will be buying them based upon when their EX date is, so that we make sure we get maximum number of dividends off of each one. All right, so with the additions that we have on the monthlies, so as you can see, K Silver here is 75 cents. We bought that one today. So that's good. Added that one in there. and then the rest of these are the weeklies, and then IAUI, IWMI, MLPI, QQQI, SPY-I, AIPI, and FEPI. We're getting $3 on next Friday, $1.96, and this will all be impacted by the investments that we do tomorrow. So we're going to increase these numbers. And then on the last day, trading day of the month, SRV is going to pay out. So you can see it's got its 45 cents there. And then next week, I'm not sure why everything shifted. It must be is Monday a holiday on the 25th? It must be. So I don't know what holiday it is, but everything shifted around, and so that's why that looks like that. So let's go look at next month and see what kind of impact those monthlies had on our next month. So as you can see, we're going to be getting almost that full $400 next month if we don't change anything else. We're going to have some big days in here. $40, is going to be going forward. Our monthlies, the weeklies are going to keep racking. The monthlies are going to keep stacking, and we're going to get real close to that first. My guess is by the end of next month, we'll be real close to having that first bill paid. And then they'll just get knocked down one after another because the dividend snowball has already started. Like you can see from last week to this week what kind of growth there is, and the week before to the week before, the growth on the dividends is picking up speed significantly because the percentage of the total portfolio that I'm willing to use for margin, the percentage is going to stay the same. Starting in about a week, I'm going to start using 20% of the total portfolio in margin at all times. So every single day when I add $300 in, there's 20%, right? So that extra $60, it's like me investing $360 because I'm going to use an extra $60 in margin, which means an extra share or two of things as we go on. So every single day is going to speed up to how fast this process goes. All right. So that being said, the total profit on this account is $1,310.57, and which is a total return of almost 12% total as of today. So, which I think is pretty fantastic for being invested in this for 35 trading days, that I've got almost a 12% total return in here. Whether it's going to stay like this or not, I'm not sure. It's investing. Stuff goes up and down. It doesn't always go up. And but as long as it keeps ripping like this, we're happy to spin off the dividends and buy more shares. Okay, so as you can see, some things are going up and some things are going down, and this is all going to shift around tomorrow, and we'll see how we're going to play within that space tomorrow. But I wanted to kind of show you this. First month we invested was in March. We got $6.70. Last month we got $203, and we're up to $84. It's actually more because it hasn't calculated in the dividends from today yet. But what does that equal out to? $97 in dividends so far this month, and we're going to be way over this. So each month is going to go bam, 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 up. So pretty exciting stuff. I am fired up about how these investments are going and how much money we're making in here. And stick with me and see how it goes. And hopefully this was entertaining as it was for me, as it was it is for you as much as it was for me. I love investing like this, and I'm pretty excited about the way this is going to flow. Tomorrow, we're going to buy the rest of these monthlies, and then we're going to see where we sit, owning each one of them. We're going to actually go through and calculate out how much dividends we're going to receive owning one share of each one. And so that'll give us a forecast of how many shares of the monthlies we're going to need in order to pay that first $60 a month bill. And then we're going to do a little forecasting, find out how long it's going to take. But it's not going to take as long as you think. Been getting some interesting comments on these videos, and thank you so much for the interaction. Really appreciate all of you. And, with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Enjoy your own investing, and have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you all tomorrow.